Hey there, welcome to Hustle and Heart TV. I'm Darieth Chisolm. When you grow up the son of a famed Pittsburgh Pirates baseball legend, you bear his name and you follow closely in his footsteps. There's no doubt there's pressure to continue the legacy. And while that is the case for Roberto Clemente Jr., what's important for him these days, in addition to continuing and expanding his dad's humanitarian efforts, is to score big in the field of brain science and technology. Roberto's passionate about kids and baseball and business development and helping others, but he's equally passionate about brain health performance. In fact, he's recently pitched and launched RC21X, a brain health game and performance measurement system. So, if you're in the fields of science and technology and the business behind it, you're going to enjoy this next episode. Batter up! Roberto Clemente Jr. is up next on Hustle and Heart TV. You're watching Hustle and Heart TV, a video podcast show that spotlights expert advice from top money earners, successful entrepreneurs, superstar network marketers, and leading authorities in business and marketing. I'm Darieth Chisolm. I'm inviting you into my home and I'm bridging my own personal success as an entrepreneur, MLMer, news anchor, and now video podcast show host to help you leverage more tools and resources, make more money, and generate more ways to take action, become a rock star, and love your journey. All right, Roberto, thank you so much for being on Hustle and Heart TV.
Thanks for having me. I'm great to be here.
This is such a pleasure to be able to be with you in this beautiful setting at PNC Park. And it's a gorgeous day on top of that.
It doesn't get any better than this. That's why this park has been voted #1 in Major League Baseball. So I'm very happy to be here with you.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, as a professional baseball player, broadcaster, humanitarian speaker, and now associated with this brain performance game, RC21X. What is that? What's it all about?
It's a brain monitoring tool. We're going to be able to establish a brain performance profile for each and every one of us. We'll be able to detect early signs of dementia, Alzheimer's. Kids that have ADD, ADHD that are not easily diagnosed, we'll be able to find out what's going on with them through this game. It's a clinical game. It's like a thermometer to the brain.
And that's interesting because, I mean, up until this point, there's been very little ways to measure that data in a fun way that kids would even be interested in. And this perhaps will help to solve that, keep them engaged, but give researchers and doctors the very valuable information they'll need.
We could find, the game usually takes between 10 and 12 minutes to play. And within that period of time, we can have between 3,000 and 4,000 data points and information from that brain.
So tell us about the research behind it, the development behind it, and why it's named after your father, Roberto Clemente.
Well, to start, we believe that it's an extension of Dad's legacy. The way he lived his life, the way he died helping others, and we believe that it was a perfect opportunity to establish this relationship with this tool that's going to help a lot of people globally. And it started because of my partner, Clarence Carlos. One of his best friend's son died. He actually, I believe a lot of people can remember when Kyle actually out of Christian Academy, he played football. He was hit on a Tuesday. On a Friday, he actually went brain dead. He bled internally for a few days and fell through the cracks. And Carlos decided to actually do something about that and have a tool that can actually help prevent that as well.
I remember that tragedy, a Central Catholic football
Central
player.
Catholic, correct.
Yeah, and that being obviously a time that you know, lots of kids play football, they play sports, and brain injuries you know, are more prevalent than most people are aware of. And so, from the standpoint of maybe a way to detect it early on, is there any preventative ways that the game will help, or if it's more for detection and
it's more for the monitoring? Yes, it's more
Yeah.
for the monitoring part. You can play any sport really and suffer a concussion. This goes even more into what's happening there. Maybe a kid that doesn't like sports. He's just being a kid. I suffered 9 concussions before high school, and I found out about that last year. I was treated at a brain clinic in Dallas, and knowing that kids do kids stuff, it's very important to have this tool to monitor your kids' brains, regardless if they're playing sports or not.
business behind it, obviously. You're on the advisory board. It's very much in its infancy, if you will, but obviously there's some long-term planning in this. And so let's switch and talk about it from the standpoint of business, since Hustle and Heart is all about, you know, obviously entrepreneurship and new ways to grow and expand businesses. Where's this going, and how do you see this fitting into, you know, into your future plans?
Well, I could tell you that the verticals and the applications of this tool go beyond sports. It's on the medical field, even on the side of workers' compensation. We'll be able to avoid our accidents in the workplace. For example, if you have someone who's going to go up in the high beams to do some welding, for example, we can actually have a couple of the modules that we can utilize and actually put that into like 90-second test. We can actually get any type of information of any type of impairment, drug-related or sleep deprivation. So we can actually detect those little things that will help a company save some money on their premiums and insurance.
And that's interesting because this is, as you said, a tool that can just span into different areas, and it's not just, you know, the traditional brain injuries that most people would think of as it relates to sports.
That is correct. I mean, I'm talking to some of the guys in the corrections office. You have a lot of workload that the parole officers are having right now. They'll visit a parolee, they'll turn around and leave the house, and they'll start partying and doing whatever that they're doing because they know they're not going to see him for 3 months. So now they can actually stay at their offices and have them, give them a call, just play the game. If they can monitor them from that office, and they can monitor, instead of 1 or 2 or 3 in a day, they can actually do hundreds in a day.
Talk about Big Brother watching.
That's correct.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Well, that's just one area of your life that is you've got your focus on. You're busy. You're in and out of the country a lot. So give us, I mean, how's life now? I mean, obviously a lot going on.
A lot going on. I moved to Houston a couple years ago. I think one of a great move for me personally. I got married, and you know, having 3 daughters, a granddaughter, a grandson to come to this life in January. And now have 2 stepsons. And I'm very busy at home, but you know, just dealing with things out of Puerto Rico right now, to a water company that is coming out of the rainforest that I'm very excited about as well. And but my main focus has been the RC21X. That's where my focus is and my passion is, because I believe what it's going to do globally for people.
Let's take a step back. When we talk about your backstory, for people who obviously are not familiar with you, they may certainly know your dad's name, but you obviously have played professional baseball, broadcasting. I mean, you continue with humanitarian efforts and philanthropic efforts. Fill us in on that. I mean, you think about when you were playing until now. What's life look like?
Wow, I mean, it's been a long, I would say I can write 8 books out of like different parts of my life. I believe that it kind of helped me completely, getting well-rounded and coming to this stage of my life. I believe that because of the broadcasting and the connections that I have there, has opened a lot of doors for me. And you know, right now I just became a board member for the National Hispanic Health Foundation, and that has been an unbelievable place for me to establish myself in the medical industry. So it's the timing has been right. The pieces have come together, and I'm very happy about it. I'm really excited about what's coming up next.
Do you see yourself ever going back to some form of broadcasting in baseball, or now with this switch in business with RC21X, that was just a chapter that's closed, or, you know?
No, I believe I will go back. I believe that once we establish this tool out there, it'll be for fun. I miss it. It's a lot of fun to do it, and I couldn't believe I was actually doing it, getting paid for it, because it was so much fun. But I truly believe that I'm going to go back and do some baseball, and do some boxing perhaps. But I know that that'll be coming in the next couple of years.
All right, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the branding and the marketing around RC21X, and we'll also talk a little bit about, you know, your passion around baseball and inner city kids, because I know that you've worked tirelessly over the last few years to make sure that kids through RBI have had an opportunity to play the game. So we'll get more on that when we come back on the other side of the break. Are you looking for a way to advertise your business, product, or service? Why not do it here on Hustle and Heart TV? We'd be happy to send you our media kit for show sponsorship and advertising. Reach out to us at info@dariethchisolm.com or give us a call at 412-692-1600 and we'll send you a media kit with all the information.
One place for all your insurance needs? Of course. See State Farm Agent Steve Chris. Call or stop by today.
Welcome to Smoke Cigar Shop and Lounge. Come smoke your ash off. Come for the knowledge and stay for the experience. With 15 years in the cigar business, we are here to help you find just the right cigar for you or a gift for someone else. We have cigars to fit any budget and palate, from super premium to hard-to-find boutique brands. A comfortable lounge to enjoy your cigars, free Wi-Fi, and BYOB with cork fee. Sit back and relax and get the full experience. There's always a lot going on at Smoke Cigar Shop: sports, news, great conversation, or meetings with your coworkers. To stay on top of all of our events and specials, visit us at smokecigarshop.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Smoke Cigar Shop. Download our app at the App Store or Google Play Store. We're open 10 to 9 during the week and until 10 Friday and Saturday, Sunday 12 to 5. Remember, Smoke Cigar Shop and Lounge. Smoke your ash off with fine butts and hot ashes.
So baseball is obviously this country's pastime, and kids and adults love it. Certainly in Puerto Rico, your father's name and legend live strong. But as a young man, you also saw the need to make sure that kids had the opportunity to play, particularly in the inner cities.
That's correct. We have a program called the RBI program, Revivals of Baseball in the Inner Cities. And my first time I went to a World Series for the RBI was in St. Louis. And I asked, where's Pittsburgh? I mean, it's Pittsburgh around, you know, and they said they don't have a program. And that is actually when I came to Pittsburgh and set up the foundation here to help, you know, sponsor the RBI program for the kids of the inner cities of Pittsburgh. And it's been great to have the opportunity to have the kids involved with that program, which is actually not only baseball, but also educational. And giving the kids the opportunity, I remember the first trip that I took with them to Virginia Beach for a regional tournament, and their reaction of first time they seen the ocean and how they came about. I mean, they ran. I said, a bus driver stopped the bus, let him go out and run. I mean, they were just stripping off their clothes and just jumping in the water. That for me was unbelievable feeling, to give them the opportunity to experience that for the first time, and we continue to do that here as well.
That's interesting because, you know, there are a lot of kids, you know, if you can get them out, get them active in the sports, get them away from the video games, it's one thing, but to take them out of their communities to other places to see the ocean or experience other life is important, because it opens kids up to the opportunity to dream big.
Correct.
And you've always dreamed big, right? You've always had the opportunity to go here and go there and explore things. How do you encourage people who aren't dreaming big to open up and dream?
It's, you know, it's very important to dream big. There's nothing that you cannot, you know, accomplish in life, but you have to see it. You got to set up a goal. If it's a trip to go to Europe, for example, well, work towards getting to that goal. I was just in Alabama speaking to the Chamber of Commerce, and one of the things that kept on coming up is like, well, how can we actually grow as a small company? I said, well, you know, there's a great tool as LinkedIn, for example. You can touch anyone in the world through LinkedIn. Go out and touch someone, ask for help. You want to learn something? Go and ask for the help. And they will, as a human being, you hear the word help, most likely you will get it. But
some people are afraid to ask for help.
Well, you can't be afraid. You cannot be, afraid of doing that. You have to be able to, if you really want it bad enough, you're going to ask for help.
And in asking for help, when you have this dream, whatever it is, a vision around something, it's, as you point out, okay to ask for help. What about, though, the fears that come up? When someone says, okay, I've been dreaming about this, I really want to accomplish this, I really want to do it, but then they stop dead in their tracks because they have some fear around either the success or it not happening. How do you bust past fear?
You know, it should be fuel. And actually the fears, I've had fears, you know, growing up. And it's funny because I go back to LinkedIn. Sometimes, you know, you hit someone and just say, you know, I don't know you or whatever the case may be. But you know what? You go to the next person that may be in the same field and you hit them. And you know what? It works. It's actually, I get a lot of yeses, a lot of no's, but you gotta continue going and moving forward.
Yeah, you just can't be stopped by
Correct.
fear. Yeah.
And the thing is that sometimes you stop. If you stop, you never know how close. Never know if that piece was right around the corner when you stopped. So there's no reason to stop. Move forward.
When you talk with kids, obviously, and as you said, you were just in Alabama, your message is certainly about that and about dreaming big. But it's probably also about planning and also about making sure that you're getting your education and you're doing the vital things that you need to do to be successful.
Every aspect of what you said is important. It's a part of, you know, life and baseball for me are the same. And who you surround yourself with, your teammates, for example, you need to have every element in place to win the game. And, you know, it's very important. I tell them, you know, we're all the same, but we're very different. And making sure that, you know, you look at your index finger and you take a good look at your fingerprint. Because making sure that everything you touch, you're leaving your name on that. And making sure that whatever you touch in a positive way.
You're building a legacy. Everything you do today
Correct.
will live on if, in fact, you're you know, focused on doing the right thing along the way.
Correct.
Giving back, being very humanitarian, very philanthropic is obviously in your blood. That's living your father's destiny. But it's also something that you balance your life with. I know that, you know, you constantly are finding ways to be involved in other people's lives from a humanitarian standpoint. I understand you even attempted to deliver some supplies, a couple of years ago, and that was cut short. It was cut short.
Actually, it was 2004, and that's when the tsunami hit in Southeast Asia. I was able to go the next year and leave on the 31st of December and actually get the trip done. That was very important to me. It was a part of me that still felt guilt because of not being able to do enough to stop Dad from getting on that plane. But understanding also now that, you know, that was the way he was supposed to go. And just became a legend because of the way he lived and the way he died. But being able to get there, when I passed the 1.5 mile mark when he went down, it was very emotional for me. It was great to be getting there. The people that were waiting for me in Nicaragua had a little scare. The plane went off radar for 20 minutes, and they thought that same thing had happened to me. And I didn't know about it until I landed, but it was great to be there. And you know, Dad and I got there that night.
Tell us about your memories of your dad, and you know, some of the fonder memories, and then of course the tragic story that you tell about you just wish you could have done more to stop him from getting on the plane.
Well, you know, Dad was he was very funny. He loved telling stories, and behind closed doors with us, he would mimic the team doctor. He spoke kind of funny, and then, you know, and him with a Puerto Rican accent. Dr. Feingold, Jewish doctor, they were very good friends, and he would mimic him, and you know, and it was very funny. But he always knew that every time he walked out the door, he was representing the Puerto Rican people, he was representing the minority people, and the hardworking people, and that's why he really knew that he demanded respect. So he was always, you know, kind of stern and demanding that respect, and he really felt that platform for him, it was actually to speak up to what was going on in society then, with racism and so forth. So, you know, I remember being in the car with him and people yelling for him. He would stop the car, get out of the car, shake hands, and take pictures. And he gave everyone that asked for an autograph the time of day. And, you know, it's something that was very special to watch. It was very tough. Obviously, you know, fielding questions about him every day. You know, having all these people. I'm consulting people I don't even know. I mean, when they hear the name, I mean, immediately they get teary-eyed, they start crying. Men, women, it doesn't matter. They're crying. He touched so many people As a baseball player, that's unbelievable to see how he was actually able to do that. And for me, it was really tough because every single day I have missed him for 40 years now.
Well, thanks for sharing that part of the story. We want to turn things back around, come back, talk a little bit more about RC21X, just how unique that is from a business standpoint, so to speak, and of course the role that it will play in lots of athletes' lives. So we've got to take a break, but we'll get more on that when we come back. So what steps have you taken lately to take your business to a whole nother level? Or are you stuck or stalled? I'd love to hear from you. So send me an email at info@DariethChisolm.com, or you can like me on Facebook at Darieth Chisolm or on Twitter at Darieth Chisolm and share your journey. Ask me a question, give me a topic or two, or a potential show guest. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Bad things happen to good people. Accidents, serious injuries, or even death. When they do, families call Frank Walker Law, where we fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
The Pink House, a 100-year-old attraction filled with the sweet, yummy smell of award-winning Wagner's chocolate. This unique boutique is unlike any candy shop you've ever experienced. The indulgent aroma delights you as you wander from room to room, and you'll discover Wagner's is more than just chocolate. Shop for your own candy-making supplies. Visit the gift shop, book your next party, and be a kid again in the fun ice cream parlor, where they serve hot and cold drinks and Hershey's ice cream. The signature chocolates are handmade with care and attention to detail. You'll be amazed at the favorite offerings that keep generations returning to this family-owned gem. Chocolate-covered pretzels and Twinkies, caramel apples, homemade biscotti, and so much more. This family-friendly experience is worth the stop in Finleyville to experience a 37-year-old tradition. Or order online at thepinkhouse.biz and give a call to 724-348-2238.
Hello, my name is Pat McDonald, and you are watching Hustle and Heart TV.
Roberto, before we talk more about RC21X, I have to ask, because this show is always about leadership and leverage and lifestyle, and we've talked a little bit about leadership. I mean, certainly RC21X is definitely something different. You guys are leading the path there. Leverage, I would assume just with everything that you have going, you know you're building your brand and your legacy. But with lifestyle, how do you do it? How do you keep balance? How do you have fun? What do you do in life that just allows you to just manage all of your travels and projects?
I often say that my therapy is golf. So I actually, now that I live in Houston, there's a lot of golfing in Houston. And every time I have an opportunity to go and just go by myself, even 9 holes, that's actually kind of, I just breathe and just no phone, just a little time for myself. And it works. It works for me. I
can imagine that. I mean, it's just an opportunity to step away, get on the greens, whack a few balls, and just
get the frustrations
out. The frustration out. Enjoy a little bit.
Yes, a little bit of Mother Nature, and you know, it will be a good day right after that. So.
Yeah. And what would you encourage someone who is busy managing a lot of projects, working, building businesses? How would you encourage them to keep balance in their life?
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I have been able to do and had to force myself to do was shut it down. Shut the phone off for you know, a day or two during the weekend and really do anything. Just spend time for yourself and with yourself. Learn how to be with yourself, because a lot of us don't know how to do that. And understanding myself the past year and a half after being treated at the brain clinic and understanding a lot of things that I never knew, and I would think, why can't I do this and be organized in this way? It's because of the brain injuries that I suffered. So understanding myself has helped me actually heal a lot better and be able to treat treat myself better, getting more time for myself.
Yeah, and that really, I mean, in business, you have to do that. And if you're leveraging several businesses and several projects, if you don't find a way to have balance, you know, it could be tough when we say that. So your own experience as it relates to your brain injury and now in association with RC21X, I would assume that makes it an even more intimate understanding.
Absolutely. I am so fortunate. I feel so blessed to be in this position, to be able to at least start, lead the pack with the RC21X, the only tool right now that we have. And I always say that, I would hold parents responsible for not using this tool to monitor their kids' brains. It's not about sports. It could be, life throws you curveballs sometimes, and you may be involved in a car accident, and your kid suffers a traumatic brain injury. How do you know where to get him back to? We need to have established that profile and make sure that you have it as soon as possible so that you can actually protect your kid.
So tell me how that works then. So there is a website, and parents, teachers, educators, doctors, anyone can go to it. But what are the modules and how does this work?
What happens is you'll have 3 practice tests. After those 3 practice tests, then you take 3 tests, and that's when your numbers pop up. And that's your profile. That's how you establish it. The more you play the game, the better it is, and actually it'll report more of what your brain capacity is. And while you establish that BPP, which is a brain performance profile, that's where the colors come in. You have the blue, it's actually doing better in a different module. So you have different game that you're clinically you're using right now as a physician to deal with dementia, Alzheimer's, and so forth. And are the same tools and tabletops that they're using, we were able to put it up in the cloud and deliver it through the web. So now you're your own scientist, making sure that you monitor your own brain.
And you take that data to a physician?
You can send it to them, so you can actually set it up however you want to. Whomever you want this information to go to, it could be your physician, it could be your athletic director, and so forth. You can actually, or you print it out and take it and say, this is what I'm taking, and they'll understand what that is.
And then what happens from there? So if it's taken to a clinician or a doctor, and is the data such that a doctor clearly understands it, or do they have to go through some level of training to understand it?
No, they will be able to understand it. Mostly if you go to a neurologist, for example, he'll know exactly what each test is for and what part of the brain is actually touching.
And then they can go on about treatment from there.
Right.
Cost associated with it?
About $59.99 for the whole year. So it's like 16 cents a day to monitor your brain.
And is this something that every parent who has a child playing sports should do to set the baseline?
Absolutely.
Obviously, I mean, we're all hoping that no one gets injured, but this allows you to set the baseline. And then if something were to occur, they would come back and take the test?
Well, they should take the test after every practice, after every game. And it's for everyone in the family. It's for your grandparents, it's for everyone that has a brain. Simply, anyone can get into an accident. We need to have everyone protected with that profile.
So everyone, as you
Correct.
point out, not just kids who may be more susceptible
Right.
to doing that. Yeah. You guys are leading the parade, so to speak, in this. It's a very interesting game and tool, and fascinating from the standpoint of business, because it presents itself as something that's easy application. People can get to it online, have the data available, pay one price. The business model around that, the long-term ramifications in terms of where do you see that going?
Oh, this is a global. We're going big. We're going big. Right now, we're starting here in Pittsburgh, and I'm very proud of that. But we're going to soon be out in every country. Right now, we're going to establish every kid in Pennsylvania for free. We want everyone to actually be able to have that in place. So if anything happens, they're protected. So I'm even looking at going to Rome and having the Pope monitored as well. So that's where I'm going. I'm going Pope. We're gonna go global. We're going big.
We talked earlier about dreaming big, and that's dreaming big. When you've got the Pope on your list
Yes.
of prospects, that's incredible.
Absolutely.
I love it. Why not? As you point out, everyone who has a brain should at least
Absolutely.
have access to this.
Yes.
That's interesting. I love it. What's next for you? Obviously, you're going after the Pope.
Yes.
But besides that, in your other forays, where will we see you, and what's next?
I tell you what, I think that this tool is going to bring a lot of opportunities to invest in other companies. We are projecting this to be hundreds of millions of dollars coming into the company. So right now, I think that perhaps buying a baseball team, you never know. we'll have the opportunity to do that and see where it goes. But I truly believe that this is a great opportunity for us to start looking at different technologies that are out there and that can help people, and we perhaps be able to invest in them or acquire them. So we'll see.
Yeah, with the working capital, it gives you the opportunity to leverage another stream of income and work in that fashion. We always like to share on our show 2 tips. One is called a hustle tip, around advice that you'll give to someone just in terms of keeping your hustle and your grind. And then the other is a heart tip, something around being passionate, loving what you do, loving the process. What are your hustle and your heart tips?
I'll tell you what, I think the hustle, and it's kind of funny, I'm going to bring it back, the LinkedIn part, I think it's a huge opportunity for anyone to touch base of anyone. Right now, I actually hit some people in India. They came back to me, and I want to start doing business in India. So I think that those type of deals, and being from Pittsburgh, LinkedIn started here in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you know that. I went to their offices probably 12, 15 years ago, and I couldn't believe what they were doing. We gave me that for free. I'm like, how are you making money? But they actually knew what they were doing, obviously, and we all use it now as a tool for business. I believe, I said a couple of days ago in Birmingham, if you don't like what you do, and you wake up in the morning and you don't like your job, get out. Go and find you a good job. Look around you, ask, what do you do? And you'll find it. You might be sitting next to a person that actually may be looking for someone that can give you a job. A better thing to do is to find a good job that you love to do. Wake up in the morning and be happy about your job and your business.
Wonderful. Well, you definitely epitomize hustle and heart and all that you do and all that you are. So thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, Roberto, I'm so excited about this project. You guys are doing an incredible job, and I'm certainly much more interested in brain health science. Thank you so much for bringing this to the marketplace, and thank you so much for being a part of our show. We have more Hustle and Heart straight ahead right after these words from our sponsor.
The award-winning Savoy restaurant has become synonymous with fine dining, upscale ambiance, and a great destination for local and national celebrities to enjoy the night in style. The Savoy has won multiple Savor Pittsburgh Awards for its delicious menu. Our wine list was awarded Wine Spectator's 2012 Award of Excellence, and the Savoy has also won the American Institute of Architects' People's Choice Award for its beautiful architecture and design. For dinner reservations and more info, log on to savoypgh.com.
Do you dread going to work every day? Stuck in a dead-end job? Hi, I'm Daryl Warden of the Miles Group. I love my career, and you can too. We're looking for people who like to go to work, have a great time, take control of their schedules, and take charge of their lives.
I worked in food service, and I never knew that I could be happy, help people, and make great money.
We will train you, help you get your license. If you want to work amongst friends and make great money, call Team Warden at the Miles Group.
Hey, Nicole Cooper here, and I am an internet marketer and online business developer, and I show people how to take their passions and the things that they love to do and build a business model around it. And I'm going to talk more with you on the next episode of Hustle and Heart TV.